And why exactly were you acting like that? That was extremely rude. You up and left before we even finished making lunch. I see you don't have any manners at all, do you? I can tell you're pretty much a lost cause. I thought that would be better than messing around with the crazy stuff you were asking. Crazy? Really? I was only trying to teach you how to be a decent wife to my son. Wanting me to dice onions with a blindfold on is going to teach me how to be a better wife? That's absurd. I think you were hoping I cut my finger off. It was trying to train you for the future. What are you going to do when you have kids? A decent wife should be able to keep an eye on her children and make dinner at the same time. If you can't even cut an onion without looking at it, how are you going to be a decent wife and mother? That's ridiculous. I can't believe you. You trick my son into marrying you and you're not even going to be a decent housewife? A housewife? I have a job. I work 8 hours a day. Doing what? Working part-time stocking shelves at a supermarket or something? I know you come from a poor family. I can only assume the best you could do would be stocking shelves, or maybe running the register somewhere, if you're lucky. Pardon me? Your parents are poor, aren't they? Wesley told me so. And he told me when you took him to meet your parents, they served him macaroni and cheese for dinner. No, they didn't. You must have misheard what he told you. Well, that's what he said. And besides, that should be the least of your worries when it comes to them. Are you saying Wesley was talking bad about my family? He wasn't talking bad. He was simply stating facts. He's told me a lot about them. And about you. Like how you're a worthless wife who sits at home sponging off of him, and you won't get out and work no matter how much he tells you to. What? He said that? Wesley's got a bright future and he's going to do amazing things. I know this because he's my son. He has my blood in him. His new startup company is already doing over $3 million a year in sales, and he just bought me a new house. You should thank your lucky stars he married someone like you. He could do so much better than you. Do you not think you should at least get out and work to try to earn your keep? I should get out and earn my keep? That idiot couldn't live without me. I can't believe he married a woman like you. I don't know what the heck he was thinking. I don't want a woman with no common sense giving birth to any of my grandchildren. Well, you know what? I'd be the one ashamed to have any of Wesley's children. I would hate for any of them to turn out like you. I'd feel sorry for them if they did. And with your DNA in them, there's a good chance they would. I was thinking the same thing about you. I'd be ashamed if any of my grandchildren turned out like you. If a brainless, penniless woman gives birth to more brainless, penniless children, it's not going to benefit society in any way. Now you've crossed the line. It looks like this conversation isn't going anywhere. Good day. I see. As soon as things don't go your way, you just run away, huh? It seems on top of everything else, you don't have any backbone either. If that's the case, just divorce my son now and stop wasting our time. Don't you worry. I'm going to have a talk with Wesley right now. Yeah, right. You're scared to divorce him. I know you're just clinging on to him for his money. I've already told him I want you gone. Now I'm telling you. You might just get what you want. But hold your horses. I'm gonna talk to Wesley about this and then decide. Wesley, what the heck is going on here? What have you been telling your mom about yourself? Oh, so you heard about that, huh? What? So it's true then? Now I want to hear straight from you what you've been telling her. I'm sorry, Tina, but I kinda told my mom that I was the owner of your company. You told her what? Why would you do that? I'm the one who hired you, aren't I? I'm the one allowing you to work for my company. Why did you tell her the exact opposite? I figured you'd find out eventually, and I never intended to lie about everything like that. But you know my mom's kinda crazy. She's got her own view of reality. That's for sure. I'm glad you see that too. And she's really judgmental of other people. She grew up in a prissy environment. Her parents were well off and looked down on everyone. She grew up thinking that was okay to do. I think she hates everyone, except me. Maybe because I'm her only child. Maybe that's why she's really nice to me. But she has expectations of me too.
I don't care about that right now. I'm asking about you. Why the hell were you telling her all those lies about me?
I'm trying to explain that. It's the pressure she puts on me. She expects me to be rich and successful. If I can't live up to her expectations, I don't know what she'll do. I'm scared of her. That's why I just happened to blurt that stuff out of my mouth. About owning your company. I wanted to impress her.
I didn't need that long of an explanation. I pretty much assumed that was the reason anyway. And? That's not the whole story, is it?
Huh? What do you mean?
You told her that I'm a worthless wife, that my parents are poor, and that I refuse to work even though you want me to, didn't you? Your mom told me you said that to her.
I didn't mean anything I said. But in front of my mom, I had no choice but to say those things. You know how she gets if she doesn't hear what she wants to hear.
I can't believe this. You're so scared of making your mom angry that you'd throw your own wife under the bus? That's insane! You're pathetic. Aren't you ashamed to still be acting like this at your age?
Shut up! If I had to choose between losing my wife or losing the person who raised me my whole life, I'd choose my wife. And you do come from a poor family. Your parents don't make much money, and you never graduated college. That's all true. You're low class. I'm not being mean. That's just the definition of it, isn't it? This can't be the first time someone said that about you. You've probably heard it your whole life. So what's the big deal now?
Then you tell me which one of us is employing the other's worthless ass. Or have you forgotten? I'm done with you. And you're fired. Don't you dare step foot in my company again.
Huh? Wait, just hold on a minute. If you fire me, how am I supposed to live?
I don't care. Figure that out for yourself.
Wait, this isn't what's supposed to happen. I already promised my mom I was going to divorce you. I was going to go live with her in the house I bought for her.
What?
If I lose my job, how am I supposed to pay for the house? I was barely going to be able to make the payments with my job. I've already signed the divorce papers and had them sent to the house by registered mail. They'll be arriving first thing tomorrow morning. You can have anything you want in the divorce. Just, please don't fire me.
You've what? You mean you actually bought that house you've been talking about wanting? For you and her? You've been planning this divorce for that long. So you decided to divorce me. You bought a house for you and your mom to live in, and then you signed and sent me divorce papers? All without even speaking to me first.
I wouldn't say I decided it so much as my mom decided it for me.
So you're telling me, if I fire you, it's gonna cause serious problems for both you and your mom? You won't be able to make payments on the house you bought for you and her, and therefore, there's a chance neither of you would have a place to live?
It's not that there's a chance. It's for sure. If I can't make payments, the bank will take back the house. And my mom has already moved out of her old apartment. My dad died years ago, and mom doesn't have much of an income. She barely has any of dad's money left. And her family has pretty much all passed away too. She was planning on relying on you and I to help her out.
You and I? I doubt that's what you mean. I think what you meant to say was she planned on relying on me. Because all the money you make comes from me. But I understand the situation. Let me think about it for a bit.
I'm begging you. Please think about my future before you decide anything. Otherwise, I won't be able to live.
Of course. I'll think about the future and make my decision.
Have you decided to go ahead with the divorce yet? How long are you going to make us wait for your decision?
Yeah, I talked to Wesley all about it yesterday. I'll have you know that I've decided to divorce him, even though I feel a little sorry for him.
You feel sorry for Wesley? You should be more worried about yourself. You were the one who married my son for his money. But he told me you two signed a prenup before you got married. So I know you won't be getting his money. So once you sign the divorce papers, I really don't care what you do. But I suggest the first thing you do is get out of our sight.
Yeah, we did sign a prenup. I'm really glad we did.
Huh, I know you're not. Stop pretending you're not devastated to be losing all my son's money.
I guess your son hasn't told you yet, huh?
Told me what?
That it's my company. I'm the CEO. He works for me.
Huh?
I'll be submitting these divorce papers now. I assume you're both okay with that, huh? Seeing as Wesley already signed them. Although it was pretty much you who decided Wesley should divorce me, right?
Wait, what did you say? What did you mean when you said Wesley works for you?
That so-called startup business that you think Wesley has. It's not his. That's my business. The owner isn't Wesley, it's me. I was employing Wesley. I was paying his wages.
What? If you're going to lie to me, at least make it a believable one.
The only one making up unbelievable lies is Wesley. Except that I see you actually did believe them, huh? Wesley is so scared of you that he says whatever he thinks you want to hear so you won't get angry at him. If you don't believe me, just ask him yourself.
You're telling the truth, aren't you?
Yeah, it's 100% true. So, with this prenup and how I filled out the divorce papers, Wesley won't be getting a cent from me. That means I don't lose a thing, and Wesley loses absolutely everything.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood everything. Let's call off the divorce. Don't submit those divorce papers, okay?
No. I'm going ahead with the divorce. I have no intentions of stopping now.
Huh? But didn't you just say that you felt a little sorry for Wesley?
I did feel a little sorry for him, but not enough that I want to call off the divorce and continue being his wife and employer. And I'm definitely not against getting you out of my life either.
But wait, I don't understand. You only went ahead with the divorce because we sent you the divorce papers.
That's right. I wasn't looking for a divorce. But then all this happened. I'm divorcing Wesley. I'm ridding myself of that worthless mama's boy and ridding myself of his worthless mama.
Whatever. I'll be glad to be rid of you too. But we're keeping this house Wesley just bought. It's not yours. As long as we have that, we'll be fine.
Oh, did I forget to mention that I'm also firing Wesley?
So, what's your point? If you're divorcing him, it's only natural you wouldn't want to work with him too.
Did you misunderstand what I said? I said I'm firing Wesley. I am surprised at your reaction.
Like I said, I understand that. He'll be fired. But I'm not worried about that. My son is very smart and an excellent worker. He'll find another job in no time. No, he's not. He's not any of those things. If I were you, I'd be really worried about him making those house payments. What do you mean he isn't an excellent worker? He's my son. Of course he is. The house payments will be fine.
Wesley doesn't own that house he bought you. Think about it. I mean, I own a really successful business, and even I can't pay for a house all up front. Wesley bought that house because he got a loan from the bank. That's how most houses are bought. He told me it was only a 10-year mortgage, so those monthly payments are high. How is he going to pay for them?
Well, I still have a little bit of savings left, I guess.
When I spoke to Wesley, he said you didn't have much left from when your husband died, and that you don't have much income either. In fact, I think he said you decided to move out of the apartment you were living in because you couldn't afford the rent on it anymore, right? Isn't that why he bought you a house?
Well,
I think I know what happened. I think you had wanted to move in with Wesley and me so you could live for free. But then the thought of moving in with the daughter-in-law you hated so much made you sick to your stomach. So you convinced your son to leave me and buy a new house for you two to live in. Isn't that right? But you had no idea all his money was coming from me. I think you were trying even harder than usual to piss me off lately, weren't you? Just to get me to go along with the divorce faster, huh? None of this is really going to affect me much. But I think Wesley losing his job is going to be pretty devastating for you, huh?
How could this happen? How could a woman from a poor family do something like this to us? You're from a below-average family with a below-average education. You're low class. You're a loser.
And whose son was being employed by that low-class loser? You can call me a loser if you want. But are you really looking at both of our situations when you call me a loser?
Shut up. My family is high class. We're from a long line of high-class people. My family is important, and our lives have meaning.
Are you saying my life doesn't have meaning?
You're from a family of losers. Stop trying to think you're anything but. Fire Wesley if you want. Then get out of our lives forever. I'll make sure Wesley finds a woman of much higher class this time. I'll make sure he never gets involved with another poor woman like you.
I am from a poor family. I never finished college, and I started working full-time when I was 19. But I saved up my money and started teaching myself. I studied harder than most people who do go to college. And by the time I was 25, I had started my own business. Now that business does more than $3 million in sales each year, and it's still growing. Do you really think your son is going to be able to find a higher-class woman than me?
Well, anyone who would brag about themselves like that clearly isn't a woman of high class.
And a woman who would call me a loser after I've so clearly won and she has so clearly lost is obviously just jealous. And to look down your nose on someone just because their parents aren't well off. Someone like that isn't even worth my time. Keep living your high-class, meaningful life as you struggle to pay your mortgage, just like most of lower-class America.
Shut up!
What's wrong? Is that all you have to say now? Well, enjoy your new house and enjoy your mortgage.
Fine. I'll apologize. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please don't divorce my son because of me. I promise Wesley and I will both treat you with respect from now on. Please.
No thanks, not interested.
Wait, don't do this to us. We're going to lose our house if you go through with this.
But according to you, Wesley is really smart and a great worker. He'll have a new job in no time, right?
But there's no way he'll be able to find another job that pays enough to cover the monthly payments on this house and all our other living expenses.
Yeah, I know that. Especially because Wesley isn't very smart and he's not a good worker. He graduated college, but I'm honestly baffled as to how. He's not too bright. It was hard enough for me trying to find a job at my company that he could actually do. It wouldn't surprise me if he failed a job interview for a dishwasher or a fry cook.
How dare you talk about my son like that?
I wasn't talking bad, just simply stating facts. If I were you, I'd try to sell that house you just bought and buy a used van to live in. After that, Wesley moved into the new house with his mom. Needless to say, it didn't last long. Wesley tried to find a new job, but he knew he couldn't get a good recommendation from me, and he had no real talent. So his interviews didn't go well. As the months went by, the unpaid mortgage bill started piling up, and they were forced to put the house up for sale. After losing their house, the two were forced to leave the city. They found a cheap little apartment far out in the country, and the two started living there. The two still had quite a load of debt, even after selling their house, and they both had to take multiple part-time jobs to scrape by. I don't know why they insisted on calling themselves high class and calling me the loser. They seem to be struggling just like most people. But what do I know? Maybe they're eating high-class macaroni and cheese for dinner or something. What I do know is, even after the divorce was finalized, Wesley would message me every now and then, trying to get back together with me. But I got tired of it very quickly and ended up just blocking his number. After that, I have no idea what happened to either of them. But as far as I know, Wesley is still living with his mom, the only woman he truly loves. So I guess it is a happy ending for him after all. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please press the like button. See you next time.